Hi lovelies, welcome to the live, come on in. If you're watching, please just let me know and drop a little hey or whatever you like in the comments. And as we're going through, I'd love it if you could just let me know how you're feeling about the things I'm saying, and if you've got any questions at all, shoot them through and I'll either answer them in the live or afterwards. Now today we've got 3 tips to fully experience your inner summer. So number 1, starting off with a good one, get stuff done while you feel like it, okay? So you've got this massive surge in energy that comes with your estrogen peaking, all your hormones really getting going. So it's a great time to prepare for autumn and prepare for winter and just do all those things that maybe you're not going to feel like doing in a few days time or a week's time. So things like doing some food prepping, getting some bulk meals in the freezer or preserving some things, and it's also a really good time as well to do some fun things as well. So really enjoying having that like high energy and maybe going on a hike or even doing some like high intensity exercise if that's your thing. This is a great time to do that, especially if you've got estrogen dominance, because we know that estrogen comes out through the sweat. So, and this is like just after ovulation or in a summer when we want to be detoxing estrogen. So anything that's like quite high intensity, it'd be a really good time to do that. Even like getting that massive pile of laundry done, because chances are you're not really going to feel like it when you come into your inner autumn, unless you're one of those people. Sometimes I get a bit of a surge to do some cleaning and sort things out in my autumn to prepare for winter. But yeah, so just getting things done really. Making sure you're having fun with your friends as well while you're feeling really sociable. It would be a great time to have the family come and stay or go to visit people. So yeah, while you've got that kind of sociable and excited feeling going on. And that's not always necessarily going to be a really, really positive experience, having this massive surge in energy. Sometimes that can actually make us feel a little bit anxious if our hormones have been quite low and then they've prepped up and suddenly we're feeling like we've got to take on the world. Like it can be a little bit overwhelming sometimes. So this is the second point that I want to come onto, is making sure to actually keep your body moving is really important. Because if you've got all of this energy and you're just kind of like sat there not doing anything, your body's going to like start to slowly erupt and eventually explode into anxiety. So yeah, definitely keep your body moving. And with that kind of sexual energy that comes at this time, it's really good to use that in a positive way. So things like dancing creatively, expressing yourself can be a really important practice at this time. And first of all, I'd recommend doing whatever kind of dance you love doing, whether that's a specific style or just turning the music on, headphones on, shutting all the doors and jamming out. That's really awesome as well. But I'd also, as a yogi and tantrika, would recommend doing a bit of tantric dancing as well, because it really does help to kind of get that sexual energy flowing and channeled in a really positive way. So what does tantric dancing mean? It's similar to sort of ecstatic dance, if you've heard of that. But it doesn't really have to be anything in particular. It's a way of just moving your body, moving your hips, and having the movements you're performing or expressing coming from a place of sexuality. So it's coming from your yoni, really. That's where the whole movement is centered around. And you can, move your arms into it, and it can be a really beautiful and nourishing practice. So yeah, I'd highly recommend checking that out, looking into it, or just generally having a boogie. I love to chuck on some Shania Twain as well, so it's definitely not all about a tantra and that style of dance. And the last thing I wanted to talk about was continuing down this sexual energy path. And apologies if you're not ready for this or it's a bit taboo, but it's an awesome time to masturbate. Okay, so, and that doesn't necessarily have to be like full on masturbation. It could also be self-massage, giving yourself a breast massage, or just generally like getting back in touch with your body. And this isn't just, you know, for the hell of it, although that's an important part of this. It's also important for your menstrual healing to get back in touch with your body and get back in touch with your yoni. Because as much as we can do all of these menstrual healing yoga practices that I've been sharing with you and share more so on my online course and my coaching, it's not going to really, like, you really need to touch yourself. Like, you need to as much as we can sort of breathe down to the yoni, heart to yoni, that's really important, or do all these movements that are coming from the yoni, starting by circling the womb. All of that's really, really important, but actually getting some hands-on time is going to be super important for reconnecting the brain to the yoni, and that in turn is going to send fresh blood down to that area. Especially if you're having an orgasm, then you're going to get a big rush of blood down to that I don't know why I'm saying that area, your yoni. And so yeah, why is that important to do that? Well, we need to be flushing things out of the yoni, out of the womb center, and we need to be bringing fresh nutrients down there to help us detox anything that we might be storing. So they're the three major points, really. So number one is get stuff done while you feel like it. Get anything out the way and enjoy what you can do, what you have the energy to do. Number two is dealing or preventing that anxiety by moving your body and doing this in a way that's sexually creative, so things like tantric dance. And number three would be getting a little bit frisky with yourself. And yeah, just, I mean, I've gone through that quite a bit, but just to reiterate, this doesn't have to be having sex with other people or even like fully having sex with yourself. It can just be getting some coconut oil out, rubbing your hands together so they're nice and warm, and giving yourself a little titty massage. Or it can be taking it down to the legs and moving through that area, and it can be fully coming to the yoni and exploring what's inside. Might even be a great time to get a mirror out and just to have a look at what's down there, because I think a lot of us don't know really what we look like, which is a shame because we're all beautiful and different and unique, and it's really one of nature's incredible things how our yonis look on the inside and on the outside. So that is my 3 tips to fully experience your inner summer. And again, if you have any questions about any of that or want to contribute your own tips for inner summer, I definitely write those in the comments and I'd be super excited to get back to you on those. Okay, we'll be here at the same time next week for our final menstruality topic, which is 3 tips to experience your inner autumn. And I just wanted to reiterate as well, you might have seen that I've got a menstrual healing circle that I'll be setting up. And we're going to do those once a month at the end of each topic. So this month, it's going to be on the 27th of March at, I believe it's at 7 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time. And all the details about the different times are in a previous post, and I'll be posting more about it. But what it's basically going to be is women, like-minded menstruators getting together, and we're going to be sharing a little bit about some healing wins, some healing struggles, and I'm going to be taking you into a deep dive about menstruality as well, because that's this month's topic. That's going to be really interesting. I think I'll be sharing some things that I haven't already shared on the group. And then we'll be moving into some yoga practices to help us really get in touch with that menstruality. So there'll be a bit of yoga nidra, some hand mudra stuff as well. And if we have time, we might even do a little bit of journaling, but we'll see how we go. And I think it's just so important for, especially, you know, if you're in lockdown right now, but just generally women getting together in circle. There's something really powerful about that. And it's something that hundreds of years ago, you know, pre-witch trial era, was just a normal part of our society. Women's circles, you know, it probably wasn't even called that. It was just what they did. It was just the women hanging out in circle. But that's something that's really been taken away from us with the witch trials, and just like, yeah, disempowering completely, and it's seen as like a bit woo-woo to even go to a women's circle. But what is important really is us sharing information with each other. Like, something I find really interesting is the etymology of the word gossip. So gossip is one of those insults that's kind of used particularly against women when we want to discuss with each other about like different things. And yeah, it can become a little bit bitchy, and you know, that's unfortunately another sort of inheritance from the witch trials as well, because we were turned against each other and told to report each other, and it all just became this massive competitive thing. And now we're like competing for men in marriage and stuff, but that's another story. But anyway, where I was going, gossip, the etymology of that word, actually comes from god sib, or god sibling. And what it meant was a woman that you would tell anything to, someone who you would share, you know, things about your menstrual cycle, things about men in the village that you should stay away from or report, or, you know, get the other men to sort out, or if they're, you know, being sexually inappropriate or assaultive. So yeah, I think going a long way around this, I want to sit with you guys and gossip in the best possible way, all about menstruality, all about our bodies, and just really share and support each other. So I'd love if you could come along to that. I think loads of you actually won a free class pass ages ago, and I've tagged you in the comments of one of the posts, and I'll do that again in the future posts just in case you've missed that. And I think I sent you all a message as well, so kidding all corners there. But if you did want to join and you've not got a free class pass, it's only $7 to join, US dollars, and it'll probably go for maybe more than an hour, about an hour and 15 minutes, max an hour and a half. But yeah, that's going to be really cool and really exciting, and it's the first one, so yeah, I'd love to see you all there. All right, sending so much love from my heart to yours, and I'll be here at the same time next week discussing inner autumn. Love you all. Goodbye.